Thank you guys again for tuning in to The Painful Truth. This is your host, Johnny. If you guys are regular followers and subscribers, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Keep doing what you guys are doing. And if you guys are new, welcome to the channel. I try to bring interesting people and have interesting topics. We don't talk about specific thing. We talk about everything and anything, and I try to grill them. But today I have a privilege of bringing somebody that actually gave me opportunity and a shot to be part of my project, and I truly appreciate it. So I'm gonna have her introduce herself, and then we could go from there.
Hello everybody out there. My name is Tamara Lee, and I'm a professional actor and a mom and a nana.
Well, like I say, I would like to thank you again for coming, and hopefully, you can make our audience learn a lot, and I'm sure they'll gain something. So, and like I said, I want to say thank you again.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
Yep. So I would like to start with the journey of you being a mommy and a grandma.
Well, I'm too glamorous to be a grandma.
Yeah,
so I'm a nana.
That's why when I heard nana, I was like, I think that's what it sounds for, but I just wanted to verify.
No, I'm too young to be a grandma, so I'm a nana.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So.
Yeah, well, my journey, I have two daughters.
Oh, okay.
I have two daughters. My oldest daughter has Down syndrome, who's very high functioning and gives speeches and travels. In fact, today she was at bocce tournaments, so let's hope she brought home a gold medal. We were the 2012 Family of the Year for Minnesota Special Olympics.
Oh wow! Congrats.
Yeah, right. I've been a coach. I've been the public relations coordinator. So I did a lot of volunteering for Special Olympics. My second daughter is the one that made me a nana.
Okay.
And
it's always the second one.
Yep. So I have a 2-year-old grandson and another one on the way due beginning of December.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, so I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm kind of new in the nana field. Like I said, I'm too young to be a grandma, so I've always said if someday I become one, I'm going to be a nana, not a grandma.
I like that. I like that. I might use that one day when I'm a grandpa. I might say I'm not a grandpa, I'm something else.
So it can be Papa or something instead. Something fun. Yeah, I like that. And besides, it's easy to say.
True.
Right away, the easy word like dada, so nana.
Yep.
So.
No, that totally makes sense. So yeah, I like to start about like how our journey started with the box, in a sense. Because what's it called? I recall when I posted the thing and then you messaged me. It's like, oh, I would love to do this thing, and then I went into like saying, hey, I'm just new into this thing. I don't want to ruin your career.
Yes.
Because that's how usually what it happens if you're an independent filmmaker and somebody takes a chance on you, or you take a chance on them, you could ruin somebody's career. So that's what I was like straightforward, but you're like, no, I want to be on it. So I was like happy, but I was also scared because I was like, this is somebody that does it. So like, I guess in a sense, what made you, I'm appreciative, like I said, I will always say thank you. But what made you like took the chance to like want to be on it, I guess?
Well, when I saw that you put the ad up looking for actors for the box, and me being a professional actor, I was very intrigued. Because I love to be in front of the camera, which I will hog the camera.
And she's good at it. So. She's good at it.
I do. And you were looking for a chief of police, I believe.
Correct.
Looking for. So you said, well, send me a headshot. Well, I just had headshots done, very intriguing.
Correct.
And I thought, well, I'm going to throw this at you and see what you think.
Yeah.
And when you responded like, that's exactly the look I wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm in. I'm 100% in. I'm so intrigued with what this character would be. And when you selected me and we started, I'm still like, I'm super excited. We did season 1.
Correct.
And you let me express myself.
Correct.
Which was what you said. I'm gonna let you out of your box, let you do what you need. That really give me the freedom as an actor to do what I needed. But you didn't let me go wild, and
That's true.
which was really great, because I mean, I didn't want to go wild. I felt this character. I mean, I have a background of accounting, teaching, and law, so the law part of me could feel this character. So yes, I do have some laws.
Yeah.
And I worked well with the main character who I worked with.
Correct.
I worked with in the box.
Yeah.
I could feed off his character well.
And it was actually great, especially like when you guys. I was just hoping at that time. I mean, like I said, when we started, everything was improvised. So it was like, my thing is one of the reasons why I was afraid of, like I said, the career thing, because I'm looking at it. I'm working with a professional, and the rest of the people are amateurs or people that have no clue of what's going on. And usually you could see the difference, and that was the part I was like, okay, well, I get opportunity to work with somebody that knows what they're doing, so I don't have to do much to coach them. I will just coach them on what I want. But then at the same time, you gotta be present of people that are not at your level. And that usually frustrates a lot of actors, because I know I've been in set and I was like what's going on here?
No, I guess I'm a very humble actor.
Yeah.
I mean, they say, "Oh, don't forget the little people."
Yep.
Yeah, that's that famous phrase. And I'll tell you the famous phrase that I use: everybody poops.
Yep, that's true.
And I've been in the music business. I used to be in the music business. I worked for a big music festival.
Yeah.
One that very people are familiar in the area. I'm in Minnesota, and I was never starstruck.
Okay.
Because everybody poops.
Yeah, that's true.
And so everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time. Everybody goes to sleep. Everybody wakes up. Everybody has breakfast. So, you have to start someplace.
Correct.
And so I give everybody, the credit for, one, getting in front of a camera and doing this, because it's not easy to do this. I mean, many people get stage fright when you get in front of a camera. It's like, who's watching me?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
And it depends on the on the project. You could have, I think when I did the first student film, there was only like maybe 7 of us on set. But when I did the recently one, I think there was like at least 20 or 30 people, and it was different. I was like, oof, this is not like what I was expecting. But then at the same time, it's like, as long as you do your job, doing what you're doing, like you could block out the noise and whatnot, so you'll be good. So what got you into into filming?
Well, it's really funny you say that. My first film was an indie film, so it was a big film.
Okay.
It was called One Cambodian, that they filmed here in Fargo.
Okay.
And I'd heard about it, and I thought, I'm kind of one of those that like, I'll step out of my comfort zone. I like take a challenge. I mean, I still want to jump out of a plane yet.
Oh, okay, just to stop you, it's fun. I did skydiving.
Yeah.
You would enjoy it.
I do. I still want to do that
Yeah,
yet. That's still on my bucket list.
Yeah, you should do it. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, I'm one of those weird people that will, if you want me try to eat a bug, I've eaten a minnow. I swallowed a minnow out of a challenge. I'm like, I'll try anything. Yeah, why not try it once in your life? You live one time.
You have to.
So I have a girlfriend out in California who is on General Hospital.
Oh, okay. If you don't mind, who's that? Because I used to watch General Hospital.
Did you? Well, she's Nurse Nancy. She's one of the nurses in the back area.
Now I'm gonna pay attention.
Yeah, Nurse Nancy Jones. Her name is Sonia Fisher.
Okay.
Was Sonia?
So she's a regular.
She's on regular in the background.
Yeah,
yes,
she's on
at the desk, the nurse's desk.
Yeah, she's on like a regular.
And she's friends with Rick Springfield because he used to be on the show, so that's one of her close friends. So I'll throw that out there for you, Sonia.
Yeah.
And I told her about this One Cambodian coming into Fargo, and that should I try it? You know what? You do acting. We did pageants together. I used to be a pageant girl.
Okay.
So we did pageants together, and I said, should I try this? She's like, yes. And she was like, read what it says. And so it was very specific. It said be 1981. And a lot of people came in the 1980s. They did not specifically read it, so they had this big hair and the bandana and all the colors and
a
stuff.
lot of them already felt following the instructions.
Following the instructions. And I did. And so I looked it up. We looked it up, and Donna Mills and Farrah Fawcett were the ones. Well, my hair wasn't quite long enough for Farrah Fawcett, and I didn't have the long layers, but I had short layers, so I put a little bit of extensions in, and I flipped my hair around, and I looked somewhat like Donna Mills. And so I went to the secondhand store. We got corduroy tan pants. I had a white blouse with the lace collar and the puffy sleeves, and a mint green knitted vest, and I wore pearls because it was a church scene. So I was all ready for church, the church little girl from the 1981. And it was a professional set. They had the tracks going up and down the aisle. I mean, it was closed set. I mean, the whole, this was like my first time. This was not a little production. This was the deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was just like, wow, this is really the thing.
Yeah.
And when the director was walking around looking at us, she pointed at me, she goes, that's the look I'm looking for. So I was like, okay. So my 15 seconds of fame was by the main character in the pew. So when they panned and they changed it, it's not like they film once and you're done.
Nope.
It's hours of different directions.
And it's just for like that 30 second or
15
second.
Yeah, and again, when you see it on this film, it's only 15 seconds of panning on me, and that's it, even though we were there for hours.
Yep.
So it's surprising when people think that, oh, you watch this movie that for 2 hours or 3 hours on film. They filmed for months or years. Because they have to do different angles of the character from the front, the back, the side of just one character. Then they do the other character, and then they do them both together. It's really an intense thing. So credit to this man who did it on improv with Box 1, season 1. And not knowing what I was going to say and what my next partner was going to say. And then when we all of a sudden we were bantering back and forth fast. So yeah, credit to him for dealing with improv.
Yeah, improv. It was, like I said, that journey was what's it called? It was a great journey. I'm glad. Like I said, I'm forever grateful for you taking that chance. And then that's why, like I said, with season 2, I'm trying to make it more, at least 60 professional or people that are interested in being in a film, or people that are actually pursuing it. So then the other 40, so that way you don't see that different that much, because they could be able to carry that, right? And then instead of like one person has to carry everybody, then it's like that's too much and it's unfair. So that's the reason, like with season 2, I'm taking my time, because like I said, with season 2 it's also going to be scripted. So so that's the part. Like,
I'm giddy. I'm super giddy for season 2. Because I'm not going to tell you much about my character. She's amazing. She's amazing, and I love her. I love her character. My character.
We ended season 1. I was like, I loved it, but in the sense, I wish idea-wise it was clear. I felt like it would have been stronger. Because that's why I was using music more to tell the story.
I love that.
Yeah, so I was like, if we would have had the audio there, it would have been golden. But at the same time, you know, it's a lesson.
But I still loved how we kind of ended it. The look.
Yeah, it's like leaving the characters wondering what's about to happen.
Do I know what's going on?
Yeah. So how was that raising a child with Down syndrome and all that?
Well, it's really interesting because I was young. I wasn't really young. I had already graduated high school and was starting college, and I was a single mom. And when she was born, she was 7 pounds, 13 ounces, and 21 inches long. So she was a good-sized baby. And the they weren't actually sure that she had Down syndrome when she was born because she got stuck. So she broke all the blood vessels in her eyes, so she was really swollen, and her hair was snow white.
Oh,
like
okay.
the first thing I said, oh my gosh, she looks like grandma. That's the first thing I said. I'm like, what in the world? That child has the whitest hair I've ever seen. And but she didn't cry right away, so they rushed her off. And well, then the doctor came in, the pediatrician came in to me, and he said, we're suspicious she has Down syndrome. And he says, and you're a young mom. He said, there's institutions and adoption. And I was like, whoa. I carried that baby, and for 9 months, and I had heat rash, and I said, well, you can't put her back. So I'm gonna take her home.
Correct.
And from the time I took her home, I started researching, and I enrolled her in like a school program, like therapy and all that, from the time she was a month old. And I went back to work. I had to work. And so we would journal. My mom took care of her, and we would journal all the therapy. So I would come home and I would, we just taught her how to be a baby because she was prone. She didn't know how to close her hands, so we would push her hands. And before you know it, you couldn't get a French fry out of her hand, you know, for nothing.
It becomes the strongest.
Yeah. And then I had a therapist that came in when she was starting to try to talk, because she would watch me. She watched me sing. Not that I sing anymore. And watch me talk all the time to her. And so she was trying to put words together. So I brought a therapist, a speech therapist come in, and he said, we need to teach her sign language. And I said, no, she's really trying. There's just something else to it. I just knew as a mother. And he said, well, you're denying her disability. And I said, you can get the bleep out of my house. And years later, I hear what she needed was tubes in her ears.
Oh.
So she was hearing as if any of you stick your fingers in your ears, you hear a muffled.
Correct.
That's what she was hearing, so she could only speak muffled. And once we got tubes in her ears, that girl has not stopped talking since, just like her mother. And she just became independent. They said she wouldn't walk till she was 3. I bought her a Fisher Price shopping cart, and that girl was running my hallways at like just after a year. And she was running a VCR at 2. But that's, we had VCRs, so that kind of gives it a little bit of an age thing. Because I put green button on go and red button on stop. And so she was running, watching Barney and doing her own thing. Because I was thinking, Mom, I needed to work, and we needed, when it's time to go, you need to get your clothes on. We need to get out of this house. I got to get to work. You need to get to the sitter. So when she was in kindergarten, and she went to kindergarten at kindergarten age. I needed to go into the school, and she's at the door running, no, stop, I do myself. And when she was 13, and I got married, my husband adopted her. And when she was 13, I was trying to tell her that what she was wearing wasn't appropriate, and she's like, put her hand up like this, and she said, Dad, tell her she talks too much to talk to the hand. So I'm telling you, this child is a go-getter and very independent, and she's actually married in a sense. She's been with this gentleman she's known him since elementary, and he's deaf. And they had a commitment ceremony. We didn't have a minister there, but we had the white dress, the bridesmaids, the dance, the food, the groomsman or the best man, and the bridesmaid. I mean, the whole works. So he comes every Tuesday to our house, and we have a really large house, and so we've made like an apartment in the back without a kitchen. And so she's.
Oh wow.